Hello there and welcome to Horizon's a new video game review. I did a video not too long ago about awesome Sega Saturn shmups. And for me there is only one other console out there that can even match the Sega Saturn for the quality of its shmups, and that is the Nintendo Switch. There are so many great shmups on this system it's hard to keep track. And for that reason this is going to be a multi-part video because there are tons to cover. Now, a lot of these games are not exclusive to the Switch, so you can get them on other consoles. But there are two reasons why you should get them on the Switch. One is you can play them on a TV or portably, on your commute to work, on the toilet, while walking the dog, whatever. You're going to need the practice because just like with the Sega Saturn, a lot of these games are brutally difficult. Now, the second reason to get it on the Switch is one of these, a flip grip, which allows you to play the Switch vertically. So no more borders, you can play it with a full screen experience as it was meant to be played. So let's take a look at some of the awesome shmups on the Nintendo Switch, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so now. Horizon's Anew needs you to subscribe. Help me get to 200 subscribers. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get down to it. So here we have Ikaruga from Treasure. You probably have heard of Treasure because they've done a lot of great stuff on the Mega Drive, and they also did a game that's very similar to this in style and gameplay, and that's Radiant Silvergun on the Sega Saturn. An extremely rare and expensive game that still eludes me to this day. I mean, one day I might be able to play it, but yeah, the search continues. But this is held in the same regard as that game, so at least we get easy access to Ikaruga. It's out on a variety of platforms, but yeah, this is more of a puzzle shooter than just a straight up shooter. There's a little bit more to think about than in your typical shooter because you're not just blasting everything into oblivion. You actually have to change color of your ship, and if projectiles are the same color as your ship, then they will just pass right through you. If they're the opposite color, then they will destroy you. And the same with enemies. If you're shooting an enemy that's a different color to you, you'll get much more points than if you use the same color. And that's what this game's all about, really, is making it through the level, obviously, but also trying to get as many points as possible. And obviously with online play these days, you can compete against people online. I had a competition going with my brother for a while about who could get the best score in the first level of the game, and that went on for a long time, and I think I still hold the record. I mean, I'm not going to check, but I'm pretty sure that I still hold the record for the first level. But that adds a little bit to it. Is like you always want to do better and sort of figure out a way that you can just earn a few more points than your next competitor. So that's a really cool thing. And yeah, just look at it. I mean, obviously visually absolutely stunning. It was released on the Dreamcast, and it looks pretty good on there, but on the Switch it looks really good. And if you play it with the flip grip, you can have it vertically, and obviously you'll get a bit more of the screen. which will, you're going to need that to make it through this game, because it is really difficult. Like I say, with those puzzle elements, it makes it very challenging to sort of keep changing the color of your ship based on your circumstances and make it through. So yeah, this is a fantastic game. Highly recommend it. Not that expensive, and yeah, an absolutely awesome game.
Nice.
So here we have Skyforce Reloaded, part of the Skyforce series, the first of which was, I think, a mini game on the PSP, and then there was the second game, Skyforce Anniversary, on the PS Vita, which was an absolutely amazing game. Had a lot of fun with that. So when I saw this was coming out, it was a no-brainer that I was going to get it. It's very similar. It just sort of beefs up everything, I guess, like the visuals and the levels and everything. Just gives you more of the same, but gives you some new stuff on top of that. The main reason I love this series is the structure of it. The fact that you can play through the levels and you have different objectives, from sort of rescuing the pilots on the ground, to shooting 70% of the enemies, to shooting 100% of the enemies, to going through the level without losing a life. And once you kind of do all of those things, you unlock the next level. And I just absolutely love that style of gameplay, the structure of it, because you can just keep playing and progressing and getting better and better and better. And you pick up stars as you play. The more stars you collect, the more you can upgrade your ship. So, levels will start off brutally difficult because you have, a pea shooter. And then as you collect more and more stars, you can upgrade your ship and get much better weapons, and the level suddenly becomes a lot more bearable. And yeah, there's tons of difficulty levels, and once you think you've mastered a level, you up the difficulty and it's back to square one. But yeah, I really love the way this game looks, the way it sounds, and like I say, that structure really kind of keeps you coming back for more, because you just want to get through the next level to get to the next level, and yeah, and keep your ship, keep upgrading that ship so you get more and more powerful. You can go through a level and get so frustrated because you come so close to achieving your objective, and then there's that one enemy that gets you or something, so you're just like, okay, if I can just get to the next upgrade on my ship, maybe I can avoid that from happening next time. So yeah, this one I would put high on this list. If you're going to get any game on this list, I would say this is probably the one to get. And if you have a Vita, get Skyforce Anniversary on there, because that is just as good as this. And it's on the Vita, which is awesome.
Attack right now. Good. Stage 1.
Planet Hyper. Crawl.
So here we have Thunder Force AC, which is a reworked version of Thunder Force 3 on the Mega Drive, but for the arcades. Takes levels from Thunder Force 3, adds levels from Thunder Force 2, and adds some original content as well. What you're looking at here is the Sega Ages version, which adds all kinds of new modes and settings. And this is why this is on this list, really, because Thunder Force 3 was a decent game, but I had a little bit of trouble really getting into it because I found it quite difficult, and there was a sparsity of power-ups, and the style of the game is very frantic. Lots of enemies launching themselves at you, and lots of projectiles being, shot at you from all directions. So it was just a very fast-paced game, and I wasn't necessarily sort of ready for that. So I found it quite difficult to get into because of that difficulty curve. But with this reworked version, Thunder Force AC, the game is definitely more accessible. It still keeps that sort of frantic gameplay and the same levels and things, but with different difficulty settings. I found that I could get into the game a little bit more. As with all Sega Ages, there are different settings and modes, and one of the modes in this game kind of just allows you to get power-ups more easily and keep them as well, even if you die, which really helped me get into the game and made it a lot more fun. And as I played through it more and more, I got used to that frantic style of gameplay and was having a lot more fun and really enjoyed it. And it's got a great soundtrack. All Thunder Force games have an absolute kick-ass soundtrack. And the visuals are not like the best ever, but they've definitely got that Mega Drive kind of look to them, which definitely has its value. And yeah, it's just a really sort of kick-ass, fast-paced, frantic game. And yeah, this Sega Ages version really allowed me to have a lot of fun, and I would definitely give it a go, and I don't think you'd be disappointed. Thunder Force 3 is good by itself, not saying it's not, but Thunder Force AC, you get a whole bunch of different levels, some original content, and on the Sega Ages version you get all of the Sega Ages extra content as well. So for me it's a no-brainer, but I would definitely check this out. It's a hell of a lot of fun and a really good time. There are many reasons to like Tengai. But for me, I think it's just the fact that it's a little bit different than your typical shooter, because you're not in a spaceship or in space. You're actually just a person flying around shooting things. And the setting is kind of completely different in that you're largely on Earth, on earthly settings in ancient Japan. And all the enemies and bosses are in that sort of design. And the visuals are very bright, colourful, they look fantastic, and the backgrounds for me are some of the best you're going to find in a shmup. Really sort of atmospheric and beautiful, a lot of them. But yeah, the gameplay here matches the visuals to me. It's just really fun, and the controls, just controls really well. And you never get too frustrated with this game. There are a variety of difficulty levels you can pick, so obviously you can up the challenge a lot, but I never find myself getting too frustrated with this game, because you always feel like if you get hit it's kind of fair, it's not like a cheap shot. And I think that speaks to how great the gameplay is on this game. And yeah, I have acres of fun whenever I play it, and it's one that I always keep coming back to. And it's just got a lot of personality and character and atmosphere, and yeah, it's just something a little bit different. So yeah, I would highly recommend this. It's one of my favourite shmups personally, And yeah, there is a sequel that is on the PSP, which apparently is not really as good. It's kind of a bit bland, which is the exact opposite of this game. But yeah, I kind of wish that they would do more with this series, because it is really good. So here we have Pulstar, which was released on the Neo Geo in the early 90s. Now this game doesn't pack a lot of originality. It's similar gameplay to a lot of spaceship shooters that you've played before. But I just love the visual style here. I just think it really just pops off the screen. The visuals, I don't know, they give you there's so much going on and give you a good sense of this world that you're in. And it's one of the first games to use pre-rendered visuals, which just give it kind of a unique visual style, I guess. The music's really sort of upbeat and catchy as well, and the action is fast-paced. And yeah, overall I just love the aesthetic, and I just love the soundtrack, and it's just fun to play, easy to pick up and play. And whenever you play it, I don't know, you always see something new in each run through. And I find myself coming back to this game time and time again. It's just solid gameplay, and yeah, great visuals, great soundtrack, and I just don't think you can go wrong. It just oozes that sort of Neo Geo type of game, which is just fun and accessible and looks amazing. And for that reason, I would highly recommend getting it. It does suffer for some slowdown now and again, especially if you turn rapid fire on. But yeah, just look at these visuals. The fact that you can like go underneath the water and stuff like this, the explosions, the backgrounds. I just think it looks awesome, and every time I play it, I have more and more fun. So yeah, highly recommend this one. And also pretty cheap, part of like the Neo Geo, the ACA Neo Geo series, so it's going to cost you like £6 or something. So yeah, highly recommend. I first played Last Resort on the Wii, on the SNK collection on that, and I have to say I was blown away by the visuals in this game. I mean, just look at that background there. I mean, this has got to be paying homage to Akira or something, and it just looks, just the little details of the cars driving on the road below you, that cityscape just looks so good. And yeah, it just gets better from there, really. The backgrounds in this game are stunning, and just really bring you into the world of this game. And I can't speak highly enough of the backgrounds. I'm a sucker for glorious backgrounds in games. So but the gameplay here does match that as well. It's a very difficult game, I will give it that, and I did get quite frustrated when I was playing it. But I suppose it is fair, but for some reason, just the fact that it is so difficult, it did kind of get to me. But I still come back to this game and I still play it. Yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to. Obviously, you have your sort of your ship that fires, and you also have the orb there that you can put into different positions and can get different weapons on and things. So yeah, you kind of can mess around with your gameplay style, and that will be good for some situations and bad in others. And so getting the balance right sometimes is a little tricky, and the checkpoint system is quite frustrating in that, you know, if you die you go back to a checkpoint, so you have to do a section over and over again, which I suppose is, you know, good in some ways, because, you know, back in the day on an arcade machine you would have had to have kept putting the quarters in and stuff. But I don't know, here it just grinds your gears after a while when you're doing the same little bit over and over again and getting killed in the exact same spot. But anyway, you know, I'm probably making the game sound bad here, but the challenge, you know, shmups are challenging games and there's no getting around it. And, you know, the challenge does not take anything away from this game. It makes it frustrating, but, you know, this game has so much to offer in gameplay, in challenge, and in the visuals and the music. It really is, you know, high on my list of shmups. And yeah, if you get a chance to play it, definitely give it a go. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. So that's 6 shmups on the Nintendo Switch just to get us started. Part 2 and Part 3 will be coming very soon, so look out for those. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. And I will see you very soon with another video.